Those annoying, illegal robocalls that we all seem to get, and they never seem to stop. But now a new nationwide task force wants to cut down on the amount that you get.
Connecticut is among 16 states on the executive committee leading this task force. We're joined by Connecticut Attorney General William Tong to talk about it. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sarah.
So first question here, how can this task force go after these groups who are responsible for these robocalls when they're all overseas?
Well, these are U.S.-based companies, so-called gateway providers. We've targeted 20 companies that we think are the worst of the worst, and they're supposed to stop these calls from getting through. They're often the first touch point for a call that comes from overseas, and they're supposed to stop these calls from getting through. They're not doing that, and so we're going to make them do it.
Attorney General, it's Ben here. You know, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's 5 or 6 times a week I'll get a call and say, I'm on the do not call list, and then it just keeps coming and keeps coming. How can consumers report these calls to the task force? What have you heard? What do you know about this do not call list that apparently doesn't work?
So it works some. And so what we don't see are the billions of calls that we've been able to stop. So when I became Attorney General, I worked with my fellow AGs, and we got the major telecommunications companies to agree to a number of principles, including deploying technology and call blocking technology. We all get, for example, on our phones, messages that say potential spam. Well, that's technology that I require the telecom companies to deploy. It's called stir-shaken technology. And we've blocked billions and billions of calls. But the problem is that robocall technology is cheap. It's easy. You need a laptop and some software and some know-how, and they can do it from anywhere in the world. So we can't stop all of them, but we've taken a big chunk out of it already.
Well, scam calls are one thing too, and we talk about this, but what about those texts that we get? What should we do about those? Because they're so different than those calls. We're getting these texts. How do you stop those?
So scam calls, texts, and emails. And letters, of course, still people use letters to perpetrate scams. And it costs Connecticut residents millions of dollars. It costs people across the country close to $30 billion last year alone. So if you think you've received a fraudulent text that's trying to scam you, you should forward that to your telecommunications provider by texting 7726. And that will let them know that this particular communication may be a fraud or a scam.
Okay, so we forward it. So pretty easy step there that we can all take to kind of put an end to this.
Attorney General William Tong, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you both.